The tactic system in Unicorn Overlord can be confusing, so get ready for Unicorn Overlord tactics made easy. No matter whether you're a pro or just starting out, in this video you'll learn everything you need to know to make your units unstoppable. A condition is basically the rules or criteria that determine when a specific action will be triggered or who it will be targeting. And while it can be daunting with all the different conditions that you can set for your characters, it's actually a little more simple than you might think, as all conditions can be split into two categories. For clarity, I'm going to call one of them filters. These choose your targets and would be a condition like scout, and these will not trigger if the target is not present. And the second category we will call sorts. These rearrange the order of your targets and are conditions like prioritize scout, highest, and lowest. And these conditions will switch to default targeting if the target is not present. But don't worry, you don't have to remember what condition is what off the top of your head, as you can easily tell this in-game by the red text at the bottom left-hand corner. For our first category filters, the text will say the skill will not activate if there are no applicable targets. And for the second category, sorts, the text will say the skill will override default targeting rules. So how do conditions work? Every battle has a list of enemies and allies in that battle. And conditions work by narrowing down that list of enemies, or allies in some cases, to the targets that you want. This can be very specific, like targeting a flying enemy in the back row, or simple, like prioritizing the scout enemy type. If you set two conditions on the same row, the order doesn't matter, as both must be true for them to activate that action. Unless both conditions are from the sort category. Then the action will be taken with condition 2 being given the higher priority. Conditions are not the only thing that matters when you're setting up your character, as the priority of your actions also play a role. On your character's turn, they will use the action skill at the highest position in the list that the conditions have met. For example, with Joseph, if you place Slice first without any conditions, he will always use Slice no matter what, and never use Heal. But if you switch the priority and add a condition to Heal, he will use Heal when that condition is met, and if not, move on to the next action, which is Slice. A good rule when it comes to priority is to use the hardest, more restrictive conditions first, followed by the less restrictive and more easy to meet conditions last, like a default action or always true condition, like lowest magic defense, so that the character will use an action even if all previous steps have failed. No better way to learn than by examples. And this build for Clive is wrong. But why? What this build is trying to accomplish is make Clive prioritize using true thrust, a 100% accurate attack on evasive enemies like scouts and flyers, and use assaulting lance otherwise. But as the conditions are set right now, he will prioritize the scout enemy type, but he will never use assaulting lance. This is because of the order of the action as well as the category used, which is a sort. So now I'm going to reset Clive's conditions and build the conditions correctly. To accomplish this, I'm first going to set the priority of true thrust first. This is because it is best to set the more restrictive and harder to meet conditions first. Then I'm going to assign condition 1 with the filter Scout. Remember, you can tell what category the condition is in with the red text in the bottom left corner. Then I need to add another true thrust action with the filter condition Flying. I added a new line instead of putting them in condition 1 and 2 because it would look for a flying scout rather than the individual units. In the third action slot, I introduced the assaulting lance attack. I then set condition 1 with the sort lowest HP, ensuring that the character targets the enemy with the lowest HP when there are no flyers or scouts present. This strategy works because if the filter condition fails due to the absence of the targets, the system moves on to the next action. This shows why it is important to always have a true condition, such as lowest HP, as there will always be an enemy with the lowest HP, or an empty action, which represents the default targeting, beneath your filter conditions for when they fail, otherwise your character will just stand by. An excellent method to test and refine your builds in Unicorn Overlord is by utilizing the mock battles feature, available at any fort. Once you've crafted a build you like, consider setting it as a loadout for easy access. This is particularly useful for experimenting with various builds and units. Remember, you can always fine-tune your conditions for your characters before heading into battle. And if you found this video helpful, or have any additional tips for mastering the tactics system, feel free to share them in the comments below. Until next time, happy gaming.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.